and bonjour to France. It is 3:15 a.m. at 33 Falmouth Road, where the January frost feels like a heavy, abysmal load. In Springfield, the diverse neighbors are all fast asleep, while through the dark hallways, the Petrova family starts to creep. Pitar adjusts his blue glasses, his face a mask of weary prayer, while the pathetic fallacy of biting wind chills the morning air. Stiga, we must move, he grunts, clutching the car keys tight, getting ready to drive his flock into the deep and shitty night. Aurora is 12, a loquacious storm in bubblegum pink, with crimped black hair and clips that make her vanity truly sink. Her brother Arthur, the apple of her eye, is 10 today, wearing his green-rimmed glasses to guide him on his birthday way. They're moving to Birmingham in September, leaving Essex behind. But for now, this French excursion is the only thing on their mind. Shut up, Arthur, you absolute bellend. Aurora snaps with a ring, anticipating the Gallic chaos that this winter journey will bring. But Maria is suffering. Her flu is a fucking miserable beast. Her nose is a red raw tap. Her energy levels have ceased. She hides her childhood burn scars beneath layers of orange cloth, feeling as fragile and battered as a singed and weary moth. Aurora is also sick, her chest a symphony of wheeze and phlegm. Her period has started too, a bloody, rhythmic stratagem. I feel like utter shite, Maria groans, her bun pulled tight and neat, as the sibilance of heavy sniffing echoes from her seat. The first conflict erupts like a volcano in the kitchen light, over a coat that Aurora insists is her fashionable right. Wear the waterproof, you little cow. Maria begins to shout, it's going to bloody rain in France, of that there is no doubt. Aurora grips her pink leather jacket, her face a mask of pure disdain. The waterproof is hideous, it's a plastic nylon stain. The infantile argument escalates, a proper Essex row, as the stuff and nonsense of teenage pride takes its opening bow. Harlow the Dalmatian stands tall, a princess in her own mind, speaking formal English of the most sophisticated, royal kind. Do put the garment on, Aurora. Don't be such a common brat, she says, while casting a look of loathing at the ginger cat. Key of the Tabby is a villain, a stubborn and egotistical prick who thinks this family holiday is a rather tiresome trick. Silence, you spotted fool, Kiev purrs with a voice like refined silk. I'd rather stay at home and drown in a bowl of stolen milk. Pitar loads the beast, a 2013 black BMW 3 Series, an automatic diesel estate to handle the children's queries. The car is his sanctuary, polished and glinting like a black gem, as he prepares to navigate the M25 in every highway hem. Attention please, the car's inbuilt voice begins to announce, as Pitar checks the tires, ready for the journey's first pounce. Arthur jumps in the back, his green clothes a vibrant leafy flash, while Pitar worries about the diesel and the dwindling holiday cash. They drive toward Dover, passing through the diverse Kentish towns, while the clouds above wear heavy, gray, and pathetic fallacy frowns. The car is a capsule of sickness, a mobile, snotty cage, as Aurora's cramps and coughing fit reach a peak of teenage rage. Bog date pazzi, Maria whispers, clutching her orange sleeves, as the BMW glides past the skeletons of winter-frozen leaves. The engine hums a low, metallic metaphor of steady, rolling power, counting down the minutes until they reach the White Cliff Tower. Right, hand them over, Pitar bellows as they reach the salty port, ending the children's digital fun and their screen-based resort. He confiscates the iPads and the pink-cased shiny phones, ignoring Aurora's high-pitched shrieks and her desperate hollow moans. This is fucking unfair, she cries, her eyes a watery red mess, feeling the exacerbated weight of her digital-free distress. Arthur sighs and looks at the sea, his green eyes wide and sad, wondering why his birthday trip is making everyone so mad. The P&O ferry is a giant of iron, swaying on the choppy deep, While the rest of the passengers are trying to catch a bit of sleep, disaster strikes the Petrovas as they walk the polished deck. Aurora loses her prayer book, a move that is a total wreck. "I can't find it anywhere." She lies, her voice a shrill fake plea, while Kiev watches from his carrier, purring with villainous glee. The ferry is a melting pot of faces, diverse and loud and grand, as the English coast recedes behind a spray of salt and sand. "You've lost the Book of God?" Petar asks, his fury like a flame. "Then you shall have a punishment to fit your lazy lying game." He hands her gifted hands, the autobiography of Ben Carson's life, to be read 3 times over, amidst the family's holiday strife. "Read it now, you twat," he snaps, "and don't you skip a page." As Aurora sits in the ferry lounge, trapped in a literary cage, the sibilance of the waves below matches her hissing, angry breath as she reads about a surgeon and wishes for a social death. Harlow and Kiev are fed their breakfast in the vehicle's hold as the tales of their culinary expectations begin to be told. "This kibble is abysmal," Kiev sneers, "a waste of feline space," while Harlow eats with dignity and a very refined, spotted grace. "One must maintain standards, you ginger, villainous prick," Harlow remarks, though the swaying of the ship makes her feel quite sick. "Dobre, keep your lecture," Kiev retorts, licking a velvet paw, as the ferry nears the French coast and the Calais harbor's maw. The Stay City Apart Hotel is reached. Room 53 is theirs, but the sight of the kitchenette fills Aurora with self-catering stares. "I hate this," she proclaims, throwing her pink bag upon the floor. "I want a proper hotel room, not a flat with a kitchen door." Maria collapses on the bed, her flu-racked body feeling weak, as the orange curtains of the room make the atmosphere look bleak. The apartment is modern, but to Aurora, it's a cheap and nasty jail, where the promise of a magical trip is already starting to fail. Petar fumbles with the remote, his face becoming a mask of rage, like an infuriated lion trapped within a technological cage. The BBC iPlayer is blocked. It's a total bloody sham. I can't watch the news from home while eating my birthday ham. Arthur watches the blank screen, his green glasses reflecting the void, feeling the birthday atmosphere becoming completely destroyed. "It's the geo-blocking, Papa," he says, trying to be a help, but Petar just lets out a frustrated, angry, Essex-tinted yelp. Maria's nose begins to bleed, a crimson, snotty, vivid flow, as the pressure of the illness makes her health sink even low. "Arthur, get the tissues," she gasps, clutching at her head, as the orange pillowcase is stained with a sudden, messy red. Arthur springs to action, grabbing a box with a helpful green-clad hand, assisting his mother in this strange and foreign Gallic land. "Thanks, my boy," she whispers, as she tries to stop the leak, feeling utterly exhausted and physically dreadfully weak. The evening of arrival comes, but Maria cannot leave her bed. The flu has made a miserable home inside her aching orange head. "You 3 go to Paris," she wheezes. Arthur needs his birthday treat, as she pulls the duvet higher to escape the winter's sleet. Petar checks his blue glasses, looking stern but somewhat sad, while Arthur tries to be ecstatic, the most hopeful Essex lad. "Marsh, go," Maria commands, "before I bleed on you as well," sending them out of the Stay City and into the Parisian swell. The RER train carries them into the heart of the city's light, where the Eiffel Tower looms above, a grand and ironclad sight. Paris is a mosaic of people, a diverse and pulsing human sea, but the Petrovas are a bubble of British snotty misery. Aurora's cramps are stabbings. Her cold is a heavy, wet weight, as she walks toward the tower with a slow and rhythmic gait. Arthur is the only one smiling, his green coat a beacon of joy, the most hopeful and talkative 11-year-old Essex boy. Near the base of the Iron Giant, a waffle stand begins to steam, igniting in Aurora a sugary and chocolate-covered dream. I want a waffle, Papa. A giant one with cream on top. She begs with a persistence that she simply will not stop. Arthur looks at the menu, his green glasses catching the glow. Can I have one too, Papa? It's my birthday, don't you know? The smell of Nutella is a cacophonous lure in the evening air, making the children hope for a treat that is sweet and rich and fair. No, waffles are for tourists. They are stuff and nonsense, girl. You'll have a crepe or nothing. Petar's lip begins to curl. The oxymoron of a painful treat is what he offers her instead, as images of golden, crispy waffles fill her stubborn, aching head. You're a cheapskate, Papa, Aurora shrieks, her face a mask of hate, blaming him for her period, her cold, and her hungry, waffleless fate. Dobre, then you get nothing, Petar roars, his patience thin, as the battle of the Parisian crepes is about to truly begin. Then Aurora snaps, a rebellion that is loud and sharp and foul. She lets out a blood-curdling, deceptive, and teenage angry howl. Help! This man's a molester. She shrieks to the diverse crowd, her voice a weapon of mass destruction, piercing and terrifyingly loud. Petar freezes in horror, his face turning a ghostly, pale shade. As the Gallic charm of the afternoon begins to rapidly fade, people turn and stare, their eyes filled with shock and judging heat, as Aurora's lying scream echoes down the busy Parisian street. But as the scream leaves her lips, a disaster of a different kind leaves Aurora's dignity and her teenage pride far, far behind. The pressure of the scream, the cramps, and the snotty, heavy cold causes a physiological failure that is terrifying to behold. Accidentally, she wets herself, a warm and spreading blue denim stain, a physical manifestation of her anger and her rhythmic pain. Arthur gasps in the silence that follows her high-pitched, lying yell, as Aurora realizes she has cast herself into a public, pissy hell. You lying little shit, Petar hisses, his fury now a roar, ignoring the crowd as he drags her toward a taxi's open door. A Mercedes-Benz C-Class pulls up, silver and sleek and fast, a haven of leather and aircon, where they can hide their shame at last. Sylvie is the driver, her scarf tied with effortless French flair, looking at the damp, weeping girl with a calm and knowing stare. Stay city apart the tell, and step on it, Petar grunts in a daze, as the Eiffel Tower recedes in a humiliating, tear-filled haze. Is the petite mademoiselle quite well? Sylvie asks with a sigh, as the silver Mercedes glides under the dark and Parisian sky. Aurora is huddled in the back, her damp jeans smelling of defeat, as she stares at the blurry lights of every passing, diverse street. She's a nightmare, Petar snaps, a lying, piss-stained brat, and she's ruined her brother's birthday, and that is bloody that. Sylvie watches them in the mirror, her expression professional and cold, witnessing a family story that is far too wretched to be told. Back at room 53, the reckoning is final and it's grim, as Petar's patience reaches the very edge of its breaking rim. Maria is awake, her orange glasses askew on her pale, sick face, as she hears the tale of Aurora's public and pissy disgrace. You are grounded, you little cow, Maria shouts with a wheeze. No more Disney, no more shopping, you'll stay here and fucking freeze. Aurora stands in the kitchen, damp and cold and thin, feeling the weight of her parents' anger sinking deep beneath her skin. And the worst part, Maria adds, her eyes like burning coals, is the punishment that will surely pierce your selfish teenage souls. You are banned from Harlow. No more talking to the dog. You shall live your holiday in a silent, Dalmatianless fog. Aurora looks at Harlow, who is sitting regally upon the floor. The Princess Dalmatian looks at her and then looks toward the door. I say, Harlow murmurs, this is a rather sticky, dreadful wicket, while Keeve the cat watches the scene, holding a villainous winning ticket. The evening ends with a hot bath and a giant, angry earful, leaving Aurora feeling exhausted, damp, and thoroughly tearful. Petar pulls on his brown pajamas, his face finally starting to calm, with a giant king-size burger printed across his chest like a balm. Arthur lies in bed, his green glasses on the nightstand's wood, thinking that his 11th birthday wasn't quite as great as it should. Au revoir, Keeve whispers, his villainous eyes a glowing emerald green, the final witness to the most disastrous, Essex-tinted family scene.